Take care. Oh. Okay. On our way. I won't say that Tim's is my favorite, but when you're heading up to Killarney, the stop at the Magnetawan First Nation Tim's is kind of obligatory because there's not much else after you get going. So I'm out here on George Lake right now, and this was the first lake I ever paddled on a, I won't say on a canoe, but on first lake I ever portaged through. It's going to be interesting going back on that, seeing the first trip and seeing what it feels like now that I've got a few seasons under my belt of paddling. Although it is my first time doing it solo, so that's not without its challenges compared to the easy paddling of tandem. I've got my lucky buff on, so I know nothing can go wrong. And yeah, feeling good about getting out here for the first day of the season. Could not be a more beautiful day right now. One awesome thing about Killarney is that the beauty of it just smacks you in the face as soon as you jump in the canoe and start paddling. On to Killarney Lake, which is a destination lake for the night. I remember the first time coming through here, this portage felt like it broke me. I was carrying a 60-liter food barrel for a 4-day trip, absolutely packed, fresh food, tons of booze, way too much snacks, way too much gear, everything, and just carrying it with the canoe just felt like I was just gonna get crushed underneath it. So come a long way since then. I'm still a little out of shape for the start of the season, so I'm still breathing, but it's not the Mount Everest that it felt like the first time we did it. So silent in here right now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I've arrived in camp here just as the sun's going down over the ridge. Sunset officially isn't until 9 o'clock. But yeah, I should still have a decent amount of daylight to set up camp, which I'm going to do quickly, get some food going, rehydrating, and yeah, I think I made it in about 2 hours time. So, and that was about 8.5K maybe with tracking around, trying to find the site that works. So yeah, that's pretty good. Double-bladed paddle, hard to argue with those results if you need to make some speed. First time setting up this hammock tent here, so probably took me a little bit longer than expected. But that's because I didn't give it adequate practice the first time before I left. But it does look like this will provide some nice shelter. So I'm excited to try it out. Dinner tonight is a little dehydrated chili. So I was going to save this for a rainy night, but kind of want a no-fuss dinner since I'm getting in late to camp today. So just going to do that up. Give this a little stir. Just checking in with the fam via the Garmin and waiting on dinner to come to life, and maybe see if there's a little bit of wood around to make a quick fire with, but otherwise just going to enjoy this last little bit of daylight and first night of the season back in beautiful, wonderful Killarney. It is a short trip, so we'd like to squeeze in a fair bit of exploring and reminiscing tomorrow. So 2022, first night of the season, feels pretty good. Chili's good. It is just before 6 a.m. right now. I don't know if the sun has come out just yet, but it's been light for about half an hour. So if it isn't up, it should be up any minute. And yeah, first night in the hammock tent. My initial impressions are it's pretty comfy. Looks like it's going to be pretty nice today with heavy rain coming later tonight, overnight, and then tomorrow's not looking great for the paddle out. Going to be more heavy rain and fog and just generally not great conditions, but that's no matter. That's for tomorrow. For today, it looks like it's going to be beautiful, so just going to hang out here, enjoy this beautiful view for a bit, and get paddling. Go hike the crack and maybe go check out that marshy area that I explored last time I was here. Yeah, should be a beautiful day. One of the things I always forget about Killarney is how clear the water is here on some of these lakes. I'm not sure if they were always like that. I do feel like But that may only be part of it. I'm not sure. Oh man, the scenery is so much nicer when you don't have to be just humping it with a canoe on top of you and can't see it in front of your face. Just a lovely little forest walk here. Trail's pretty dry. Birds are twittering as they do. The sun is peeking out from behind the trees. And there's not a person in sight. It's beautiful. Here we have a couple different signs or markers letting us know, I think, that we've joined the Close Silhouette Trail. I remember the blue ones as being part of the trail. I don't remember what these orange ones are for. A section of trail has been rerouted 600 meters to avoid a steep, badly eroded area. Please follow the new trail, which connects to the original. Do not use the old trail section. Being rehabilitated. Okay. Well, you can hear the sounds of a helicopter. Wonder if it's a rescue chopper. I know that they pretty much have to pull people out of this trail almost every day during the season. So, could very well be it. Did see an ambulance driving the other way when I came back in yesterday on the way into the George Lake campground. So it is a hazard. I did take the reroute. I started coming up over here, but then it looked like there were signs to like come back this way or something. So I got confused. Well, I did get a little turned around for a second, but we're back on the track now. And now we are getting up on top of that beautiful white quartzite type of rock. Feeling like we're getting up in Killarney now. Get some of those vistas. It's pretty amazing when you think about it, to be up on top of this rock here, which is by no means any kind of Himalayas, but is what once was a mountain range that was as high or higher than the Rockies millions and millions of years ago, and has since been worn down over time to these relative rocky nubs that I'm walking on right now. But pretty incredible. Think about the age of these rocks and the passage of time that would do that to these. A nice little boulder field going straight up that is fairly reminiscent of some of the portages on the Lady Evelyn River in Temagami. So doing it without a canoe, cinch. And here is the eponymous crack. As promised, and as I remember, the views are absolutely spectacular. But holy moly, are the Blackflies out. As soon as I sat down, they were just on top of me, just swarming, just clouds of them all over my freaking head right now. So much as I'd like to, I don't think I can linger up here as much as I want. So just swallowing these things. Ugh. So gonna snap some pics, gonna take a few moments. Hopefully the breeze will pick up to blast some of these little buggers off, and if not, I'll be headed back down the trail. This is cool. You can see the colorations in the quartzite here. If this cloud of blackflies will let me admire it for half a second, which they won't. Could not enjoy that view for a second. But I did spot a bear through binoculars down at Killarney Lake, which is on the way back. I did see some fresh prints in a little bit of mud that I just walked over a minute ago, but I don't see any signs of him. But I'm just gonna keep my eyes out and snap some sticks and make some noise and talk and just make sure that he's well aware of my presence if he hasn't smelt me already and turned to run. Holy moly, those blackflies. Second you stop, they are just all over you. That's all there. Right into it. Cool. Well, it's understandable why this lake is so popular. Sorry, Blackfly. O.S.A. Lake, or the Ontario Society of Artists Lake, as it is the acronym for, was a favored lake by members of the group of 7 to come paint here. I'm not sure who exactly. Carmichael, perhaps? Something to look up. And I mean, it's pretty classic as far as Canadian Shield lake scenery goes. You've got the white quartzite mountainous remains of the Closure Range on the one side. You have pine-studded islands in the middle with nice rocky points and campsites on them. And you have just a turquoise blue, super clear water. Having a lovely time bopping around O.S.A. Lake here, just kind of getting reacquainted with this lovely gem and just kind of exploring little nooks and crannies and little bays and wrapping around these little islands here, visiting a site that camped on once upon a time, first real backcountry portaging trip ever, and it's just really special. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit now. I know that the forecast obviously is calling for some rain tonight, so who knows, might be getting in for a bit of a storm here. So yeah, I figure I should probably paddle over, set up shop on this nice little island. The breeze from this wind will be lovely to keep these damn bugs off, so that'll be much appreciated. Probably stop and just forage a little wood along the way and get hunkered in for whatever comes. So yeah, excited. lovely stack of even some nice split wood there. It's really nice when people pay it forward that way. So yeah, I won't even come close to touching all of this, plus what I brought, so it'll be great. Have a nice little fire tonight, but also still leave plenty for the people who come next. So yay, giddy up. She cold. Soup. Nice. A lot nicer to get into camp, you know, with plenty of daylight left, and you know, than getting in just racing the sun, trying to set up in the dark, rehydrating your dinner with a headlamp on, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess for some people it's all right, but for me, I like to sort of work hard and then have a nice little relax. One thing I have done this trip is mash my thumbs up here. That's from the double-weighted paddle, so that's some blisters. Just got to get used to that, but yeah, that blistered and ripped right up. So never had that from my my wood canoe paddle before, but I think I'm probably going to get started on getting a fire going and maybe just getting an early dinner going, and that way I can enjoy what I can while it's still dribbling on and off perhaps, and then that way whenever this big weather rolls in, of which there's supposed to be quite a lot, I was checking, it might be like 25 millimeters of rain overnight, which would be pretty intense. Then I can just scurry back to the hammock and just, you know, nestle in and catch the show from there. So yeah, probably better to just be early and on top of things tonight rather than having to worry about just being out in the wet, the rain, trying to still worry about cooking dinner and whatnot. So yeah, pretty crummy right now. It's raining pretty steadily, pretty foggy. There actually was some stronger wind that was picking up. Seems to be kind of coming and going. That probably means I've earned a little bit more hammock time in here. Lounging with a book until I decide the moment's right to get up and make a little breakfast before hitting the road here. Yeah, time to kick back, lounge for a little bit more. Not gonna lie, it's pretty miserable outside right now. Pretty much packed up most of camp, and I'm just sitting under here under the tarp with just finishing up a glass of coffee and oatmeal. Pretty windy, pretty foggy, pretty rainy. Just not the nicest conditions. This would be a great day to just be hanging out and not going anywhere and just watching this pass over. But we are only a few kilometers away from getting out, so I'm gonna take that shortcut, hit the road in a minute, boogie out of here, and you know, be drying off in the car and not
not too long, I suppose. So yeah, but pretty gross out.
Wind have let up a fair bit now, and now it's just nice and foggy. So if that's the case, it should be a much more pleasant paddle out. I believe I gained about 60 meters of elevation and then drop about 80 over the course of 1.3K. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It is torrential right now. Definitely pretty tough, but arrived at George Lake now and should be a nice easy paddle out.